Modern interior design is often a study in frictionless efficiency. In most high-end homes, you'll find smooth countertops, seamless cabinets, and layouts optimized to the absolute millimeter. But that level of optimization has a consequence. When every surface is spotless and identical, the room loses its distinct character. The space becomes functionally perfect, yet it feels emotionally hollow. We can trace this obsession with uniformity back to mass production. As factories prioritized speed and scale, individual craftsmanship was engineered out of our homes. These perfectly efficient modern rooms have lost their pulse. To wake them up, they need an outside disruptive force to introduce a sense of friction. Enter the counter-movement, heavy, historically accurate hardware pulled from the old world. This style is defined by physical flaws. It carries uneven grain, layers of oxidized patina, and the literal indentations left behind by every hammer strike. Unlike an assembly line, this hardware requires a blacksmith. Each piece is heated and shaped by hand, which means no two handles are exactly alike. There is a risk. Fill a room with only weathered iron and century-old wood, and the home stops feeling current. It becomes a museum exhibit. That is the core design dilemma of 2025. We need to rescue sterile spaces using these rich historical elements without dragging the entire room back into the past. The rustic meets modern theory relies on deliberate friction. Anchor a minimalist surface with one irregular object. If you put a rustic knob on a rustic cabinet, the elements blend together and the room loses its balance. Think of it as a buddy cop dynamic. You pair the straight-laced, sleek Scandi-style minimalism with the raw, unpredictable nature of forged metal. A flat white cabinet or a light oak vanity acts as a blank canvas. Against that pristine backdrop, the ruggedness of a dark iron fixture suddenly becomes the most interesting thing in the room. This tension between opposing styles creates harmony. Each element forces the other to stand out. We can organize hardware into specific character archetypes, each performing a different job in a makeover. First, you have the muscle. These are heavy barn door poles and massive strap hinges. When added to a lightweight modern space, they provide a sense of permanent structural weight. Then there is the detail expert. Intricate pieces like Chinese lotus bales or Victorian swan neck poles are used to break up large, flat surfaces, giving the eye a complex point of focus. Finally, you have the wild card, specifically the clavo. These are decorative iron nail heads. Historically, they were driven into massive, heavy fortress doors to keep the wood from splitting during a siege. Today, if you place those same iron studs on a modern living room built-in, you take them out of their defensive history and turn them into an architectural accent. Using these pieces in new contexts keeps the room from feeling predictable. These functional imperfections, the hammer marks and the asymmetry, are the most important assets in the room. They represent a break from the factory standard. Materials like oil-rubbed bronze and beeswax-coated iron are designed to change over time. As they react with the air and the touch of your hand, they develop a rich, uneven patina that is unique to your home. Because the casting process is so raw, no two pieces come out of the mold perfectly identical. That lack of manufacturing precision is exactly what gives the hardware its soul. These physical scars ground the room. They provide a tangible connection to the manufacturing process that the rest of the modern space is missing. In the transformed space, the clean functionality of the modern era coexists with the weight of the old world. The room is no longer just a collection of optimized hollow surfaces. It feels established. The hardware functions as the room's defining centerpiece, pulling the gaze toward the details of the furniture. By pairing the precision of the new world with the raw grit of the old, the design finds its equilibrium. You end up with a home that works like a machine, that feels like it was built by hand.